Hello, parents, and welcome. As a parent, you are your child's first and most important teacher, and building a strong connection with their school and teachers is absolutely key to their success. But sometimes knowing the best way to communicate, what to say, how to say it, when to reach out, it can feel a bit tricky. My name is Gurpreet, and today we are diving into communicating effectively with your child's school and teachers in North America. We'll cover everything from email etiquette to making meetings matter, all aimed at helping you become an even proactive and effective partner for your child's education. Now, why is this homeschool communication so crucial? It's a true game changer. So, research consistently shows that when parents and teachers work together and communicate effectively, students thrive. They tend to do better academically, have higher self esteem, better social skills, and a more positive attitude towards learning. So, open communication also means that any potential changes, whether academic or behavioral, can be identified and addressed early on before they become bigger problems. Ultimately, it helps ensure that everyone, you, the teacher, your child, is working on the same page towards shared goals for your child's success and well being. It is truly a partnership. Now, in US and Canadian schools, there are several common ways to connect. Email is very widely used for non urgent matters, quick questions, sharing information, or scheduling future meetings. Most teachers check their email before or after school or during their planning periods. Many schools now use school communication apps or online portals that you might be familiar with, names like Class Dojo or Seesaw for younger grades, or Google Classroom, Canvas, or Parent Squares for older students. These are great for announcements, checking assignments or grades, and something direct messaging with the teachers. So, phone calls are still a good option for issues that are a bit more timely or too complex for a quick email, but perhaps don't need a full face to face meeting. And of course, scheduled meetings like formal parent teacher conferences or meetings you request for specific concerns, they are essential for those in depth discussions. These can be in person or virtual. Now, for elementary and sometimes middle school students, the student agenda or planner is often a simple but effective way for daily notes and quick messages between home and school. Since email is so common, let's talk a bit about email etiquette when communicating with school staff. Always use a clear and concise subject line. Include your child's full name and a brief topic, for example, question about Maya Sharma grade 4 math homework. Maintain a professional and respectful tone in your email even if you are discussing a concern. Politeness goes a long way. Be specific and brief. Get to your point clearly. If the issue is very complex or emotional, it's probably better to suggest a phone call or a meeting. Always proofread your email for typos and clarity before you hit send, and allow a reasonable response time. Teachers, they have full class schedules during the day, so a response within 1 or 2 school days is typical for non-urgent matters. A couple of things to avoid. Don't use email for urgent emergencies. Always call the school office for these. Try to avoid very long emotional discussions via email and be careful about your group mails using BCC if you are sending it to multiple parents to protect privacy. Now, beyond the regular parent teacher conferences, when should you schedule a special meeting and how can you prepare to make any meeting effective? So, consider scheduling a meeting if a concern is complex and needs a real back and forth discussion. If you are noticing ongoing academic or behavioral patterns, or if you want to collaboratively develop a plan to support your child. If you have tried email or a quick phone call and the issue isn't resolved, a meeting is a good next step. To request one, simply email the teacher or relevant staff member, briefly state why you'd like to meet and suggest a few times that you're available or ask for their availability. Now for preparation, review your child's recent work, their report card, any previous communication that you have had. Talk to your child, get their perspective. Ask if there's anything specific that they want you to discuss. Make a short list of your key points or questions and prioritize as time is often limited. So think about what you hope to achieve from the meeting, like what would a good outcome look like. And if it's helpful, bring samples of your child's work or notes to the meeting. Now, being well prepared for these school communications and meetings is so important. Sometimes understanding exactly what academic areas your child is excelling in, or perhaps where they are hitting a few bumps, can make your conversations with teachers more productive and focused. Wisdomy's one-on-one online tutoring can actually help with this. Our diagnostic approach can help pinpoint specific skills that need attention. So when you talk to the teacher, you are already equipped with deeper insights into your child's learning needs. And if a concern is raised by the school or if you identify an area for growth together, Wisdomy can offer that targeted personalized support to help your child improve and build confidence. A free trial class is a great way to experience this kind of partnership. So you'll find the link in the description. Now, effective communication is also about being a proactive partner in your child's education, not just reacting when there's a problem. So make it a habit to read all school communications, newsletters from the principal, emails from teachers, notifications from school apps. Now, this keeps you in the loop about classroom activities, school events, and important policies. Then attend school events when you can. Things like curriculum nights, open houses, PTA, PTO meetings, student performances. This shows that your child values their school and the learning. Now, volunteering, if your schedule allows, is another wonderful way to understand school environment and contribute to the community. For younger students, checking homework or their agenda helps them stay on track and develop good organizational habits. This evolves as they get older, of course. Create a supportive home learning environment, a quiet space for homework, encouraging reading, and showing genuine interest in what they are learning each day. And don't forget to inform the school if there are significant events happening at home that might affect your child's behavior or ability to focus at school, like an illness in the family or a major change. Sometimes you will have concerns to discuss. How can you do this respectfully and effectively? So, first, always try to assume positive intent. Teachers genuinely want what's best for your child too. So, when you start the conversation, a collaborative opening works wonders. Something like, "Thank you for meeting with me. I'd like to talk about how we can work together to support a child with that specific issue." So, use I statements and be specific with examples. Now, instead of saying, "You never give clear instructions," try, "I'm concerned because my child seems unsure about the instructions for the last science project I observed." This avoids blame and focuses on the issue. Then you need to listen actively and empathetically to the teacher's perspective. They see your child in a different setting and may have valuable insights. So the goal is to focus on solutions. Brainstorm strategies together. Ask what can we try at home to support this and what strategies can be used in the classroom that we reinforce. And finally, try to agree on an action plan and a follow up to see how things are progressing. Now, building a positive long-term relationship with your child's teachers and the school staff benefits everyone, especially your child. So, introduce yourself early in the school year if you can. A brief friendly email or saying hello at an open house makes a great first impression. Then remember to communicate positive feedback tool. So if your child loved a particular lesson or if you appreciate something the teacher did, let them know. A little appreciation goes a long way. Respect their time and their professional expertise. Be mindful of their busy schedules when you reach out. For Indian parents who may be new to the US or Canadian school systems, some communication styles might feel a bit different. In terms of formality, while respect is always key, daily communication with teachers in North America can be a little less formal than what you might be used to. Addressing teachers as Mr., Miss, or NX is just standard. The use of sir or madam for every interaction is less common here. It's good to observe the school's culture. Then proactive communication is expected and welcomed. North American schools generally encourage parents to reach out with questions or concerns proactively using tools like email rather than waiting only for formal parent-teacher meetings. So don't feel like you're bothering them if you have a genuine question. Talking about the partnership model, the emphasis here is very strongly on a collaborative partnership where your insights as a parent are considered just as valuable as the teacher's professional expertise. Talking of the scope of discussion, be prepared for conversations to often include your child's social emotional well-being and learning skills, not solely focused on academic marks or rankings. So let's quickly recap your communication superpowers as a parent. It's about choosing the right channel for your message, using clear and respectful email etiquette, preparing thoughtfully for meetings, being a proactive partner in your child's day-to-day education, discussing any concerns constructively, and always aiming to build those positive, long-term relationships with the school. Effective communication is truly a superpower in your child's educational journey. By being proactive, prepared, and positive, you build a strong team around your child that helps them to not just succeed but also thrive. And if those important school communications or meetings highlight specific academic areas where your child could use some personalized reinforcement or skill building, remember that Wisdomy is here to help you act on those insights. Click the link in the description to know more about one on one tutoring and book your free trial class. So, what's your number one tip for great communication with your child's school or teacher? Or if you're an Indian parent, what communication difference did you find most interesting or challenging when you first encountered the North American school system? So share your advice and experiences in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. If this guide was helpful for you, please click thumbs up and subscribe for more educational tips and share with other parents who might benefit. All the resources we mentioned are linked in the description for you. So thank you so much for watching. Here's to strong partnerships and successful students.